Now, his story has a very interesting life lesson at the end, much like A Christmas Carol does. I want to tell a story. I'm going to be very careful with some things, though, because this story was told to me. Now,
By someone you know?
I'm sorry?
By someone you know?
Yes. Now, he has since passed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that too then.
Yeah. He had passed a few years ago, but he told me the story because, as anyone knows, I love Christmas. Very charitable guy. And we just happened to start talking one day about, why we love Christmas. And, for me, I've always loved it. Like it's a date of excitement and anticipation. Now, his story has a very interesting life lesson at the end, much like A Christmas Carol does. I'm not going to use his name, and I'm probably going to change some locations. I wrote down a little thing so I don't forget any parts, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, if I'm going to tell this story, like I'm going to tell it the right way. And again, this is a real story. It was told to me as real. So long story short, it was Christmas Eve in the early 2000s. But anyway, he was working for a job. He'd been doing it for a while. And it's one of those jobs where you never really get great news. You always kind of get bad news, and people's in a bad mood. And, the job didn't pay a lot. And that year he had a really tough year. I'm going to say Mark. We're going to call him Mark. Now, Mark, he wasn't like a jerk. Like he's like, when you think about Christmas Carol and you think about Scrooge, like Scrooge was kind of a jerk right off the get-go. And there's a really cool life lesson here too, because Mark wasn't always the Mark that I knew when it came to Christmas time. Again, Mark was kind of worn down. He told me during this time frame, like he's kind of worn down. He had all these bills going on. His car was breaking down all the time. He would go and get it fixed. And then the moment he get it fixed, it'd start having another problem. He would take it back in. It would get fixed again. And then it'd have another problem. And if I remember correctly, I think he told me he bought a car. It was a used car. And then it started having mechanical issues. Like his money was having all kinds of issues, and he was struggling, and he didn't necessarily care about Christmas so much that year.